everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. I'm Stefania. Today I'm gonna do a little flip through of my reading journal so I can show you all the pages that I've created in November. As always, I'm gonna start from the yearly pages and I'm gonna try to go through them without spending too much time on them because they're just the same pages updated, and then we're gonna move to the monthly pages. As you can see, also my second notebook is getting bigger and bigger. So let's go and let's start straight from the yearly pages. I've had the books that I've read in November here, and I'm happy because I don't have so many books left, and here there are more books than my actual goal, so I definitely like it. I'm still not a fan of the colors that I've decided to use because some of them, I love them, some others, they just don't fit so well. I don't know why, but anyway, I really loved this spread, so I'm gonna create another one for 2024, like this one. Yes. Book log. Here there are the books that I've read in November, and there are 6. I'm gonna talk about them when we're gonna reach the monthly spreads. Reading tracker. November was another wonderful month. I've managed to read each single day, and I'm really happy about it. I hope to be able to do the same in December, so I can say that I've reached my goal of reading a little bit every single day of the year. These are the books that I've read in November, and again I'm gonna talk about them a little bit later. Big one, I still haven't printed the cover, but my favorite book from November was The Pumpkin Spice Café, so this is the one that's gonna go in the final battle, and then we're gonna see who's gonna win. I gave 5 stars to 0 book, so this page has been updated because there was nothing to update actually. Monthly reads. Here there are the books I read in November. I really like this page because I can just look at it and I know exactly which books I've read in every single month, and I thought it would have been pointless last year, so I haven't created it last year, but then this year I've decided to give it a go, and I'm really happy that I've done it because I simply find it lovely and useful. Series tracker. I'm sorry, I forgot to update this one. I'm pretty sure because I still have to update it with series that aren't fantasy but like romances, but I still have to do it. Being on nothing changed. I still have to color my goal for the year, which is 60 books, and finishing a reading challenge, and I'm gonna color them both in December. I already know this. Goodreads challenge. I've almost reached my goal, which was 60, which actually is still 60. I'm also trying to update my Goodreads, but it's not that easy. I'm always behind. Right now I'm updating it with books that I read in September. I don't know if maybe when this video is gonna go live, maybe I'll be done with it. I don't know. I hope so, but I'm not sure. However, on Goodreads I write my reviews in Italian, so I don't know. You can still follow me there and be friends there to check out the books that I've started and finished, or how many stars I've decided to give to all the books. But for their reviews, I just write them all in Italian, just so you know. Rainbow challenge, said multiple times, I forgot about it. Un anno in rosa, friends to lover, done it. I'm pretty sure this page has been updated and probably again with nothing because the letters are always the same. Challenges, I still have to look at them seriously because I'm pretty sure I still have to update them. I always forget about them. I have to decide to work on them in a different way next year, so generous page has been updated. Reading stats. In November I've read 6 books, 2 ebooks and 4 physical books, 1,974 pages. I read for 30 days, 2 books in English and 4 in Italian, and then the stars that I gave. As you can see, it wasn't a wonderful month because I have 1 book to which I decided to give 1 star and another one that got a star and a half. So it wasn't definitely a wonderful month, not at all. So now that we're done with the yearly pages, I think we can move straight to the monthly pages. Cover page. As always, you can find a plan with me already online, in case you're interested. I will not talk about the stats because I've just said them. Favorite book, The Pumpkin Spice Café, and worst of the month, Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. Not a fan of the book. Monthly view, as you can see, it's quite full and it's good. I have to say that the first book took me forever because I've already started it in October and I've managed to finish it only by the 7th of November, and it was Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, and I just couldn't really get into the book. I didn't like it that much, and at a certain point I was thinking just try to read it with something else because it's not going on well, but then I've managed to finish it and I'm so happy about it. There are the books that I've read and you're gonna see the spreads for all of these books in this month, but not for the last one because I've started it in November, finished it in December, so it's gonna be in December. Reading tracker, as I said before, I read each single day and I'm so happy, and there have been a few days in which I've read more than 100 pages, so it's wonderful and I'm really happy about that as well. Books of November, I've decided to add here the books that I read in November, and I was quite happy while I was filling in this page, thinking, okay, I just only have December and then I will say goodbye to this page. I'm so happy about doing it. Anyway, the next pages are going to be about the spreads that I've created for all the books. As always, this is a flip through, it's not a review, so I will not talk too much about the books because I don't want to give any spoilers, and I already know that when I start talking I can't control myself, because a lot of time when I have something to say about something that happened in the book, well, I can't because it's a big spoiler. That's life. It's really hard. But if you're interested in more reviews, let me know with a comment. I usually create videos in which I tell you what I think about the book, and there are spoilers in these videos, of course. And while I'm doing it, I show you what I do to create the spread for that book. Let me know with a comment if you would love to see more of these videos or no. First book was Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. I was really disappointed by this book. I've seen so many wonderful reviews and I was expecting it to be amazing. Instead, it wasn't like that. I don't get when people say they want the same friendship that Sadie and Sam have, because I don't want something like that. I see it as a toxic relationship. It's not an healthy friendship at all, according to me. They're both using one another for their own personal reasons. They're really selfish, actually, both of them. I think that by the end of the book, at the beginning, I was liking the book at the beginning. Then something happened, and from that point on, it was just a big no. At the beginning, I was also liking Sam quite enough, but by the end of the book, I've basically labeled Sam as a stalker. I'm sorry. I just couldn't take it. I understand the fact that the book wanted to talk about different types of relationships, and there are good and healthy relationships and toxic ones, and I definitely can say I get it. But what I can't get is, especially when it comes to Sadie, at the end of the book she has a friend, which is a person that gets called as her friend when he's definitely not a friend. After what he did to her, he shouldn't have been labeled as a friend at all. And that was like the biggest problem. Another one was really the war relationship, which is a friendship between Sam and Sadie. For me, they're not friends, they're just two people that know each other, and that's it. I can't talk about the two main things that really let me down about his friendship, because it would be a big spoiler. And I think I've seen so many people saying, I've really cried a lot reading this book. Trust me, I'm a person that cries easily. It doesn't take me that long. But not even a single tear came down from my eyes for this book. Not even one. 1 star. I can say that this probably is the worst book of the year for me. So I think there's nothing more to say. I just didn't like it at all. Next book, A Deal with the Elf King, 3 stars. I've read this for a reading group, and here is the thing. I've enjoyed it, yes. I don't know why I couldn't stop reading it. The story itself isn't that bad, but the characters, that's where I had a few problems. Well, it's definitely that woman which thinks about work and is constantly worried about other people. And it's not that bad, but the problem for me is when she's just, let's say she's acting as if she got the worst in her life because she was forced to marry the Half King. And here is the thing. There are people that are definitely having bigger problems than her, so this is something that just couldn't really be ignored by me. Another thing is the main character, Aldous, is portrayed as this health which basically doesn't have an heart. He's a cold-hearted person, but the truth is that I was expecting it to be, let's say, a mask to hide his true self from everybody, but at the same time I was hoping that this would have lasted a little bit longer. Instead, since the first moment in which he goes back in his kingdom, all I see is a normal person. Let's say I quite forgot he was an elf, because he was looking like one of these normal human beings with a wonderful heart, but are just, let's say, hiding it. So the two characters were a little bit the problem. The other problem that I got is that this book is part of a series, yes, but it's a standalone. Once you start and finish it, you've had it all. But my problem here is that at the end, everything happens so fast. I wish it was a little bit longer and things would have been explained a little bit more, and they would have got, let's say, the right time that they deserved in the book. Instead, it's not like this. But overall, I quite enjoyed it. Lovelight Farms, I don't have a lot to say about this book because I simply didn't like it. I think that I felt nothing. I couldn't get inside the story, I couldn't get in the place, I couldn't like the characters. It was a big no. Like, it's not the problem Friends to Lovers, because if they are well made, I like them. I don't know if the problem is Friends to Lover with also fake relationship, fake dating. This probably doesn't work that well. But here the problem is that technically the main characters are supposed to fake dating because of this big contest that an influencer started, and I was expecting to see more of that. More of that, let's say, that influencer arrives and she's around and you have to see them acting in front of her. Instead, there are 2 chapters. She arrives, she understands everything in 30 seconds, and then she's gone. Just like that. I was expecting the part to be bigger. Instead, the majority of the book is seeing these 2 friends which are faking because they have to train for the actual days in which this influencer is going to be around, and more than half of the time they're in a closed dome, so I just don't get it. I didn't like it at all. I'm sorry, like, it was crystal clear since the beginning. There wasn't something to make me like them at all, so it was simply a big no. And no, it didn't put me at all in a Christmas mood. Nope. Spellbound, 3 stars and a half, wonderful book. I really enjoyed it, yes. It was definitely the perfect book to read in October and November, and I think it's really wonderful. I've only felt a little bit disappointed from a certain point until the end, because again, just like for the other book that I said before, this is a standalone, and so at the end everything is a little bit, it doesn't give enough time to things to happen, and so you really have to move from a moment to the next one pretty fast, and I'm not a fan of that usually. But I've really enjoyed it. I think it was a wonderful book about this boy who wants just to find his place in this world, because he's sure his place is somewhere in which magic is involved, and I truly loved to see him doing everything he does just to be there, and hold the friendship that he creates toward his journey is wonderful. By the end, you can see him having his found family, and I really loved it. It's not too much, like there's not a lot of magic into this book, even if it talks about it, but it's definitely a wonderful read. It's probably the type of fantasy you want to go when you don't have to think too much, when you don't have to use, let's say, too much your brain to understand the world building and all the characters. Here there aren't a lot of characters. The world building isn't something hard to understand, because it's not something created by a whole imaginary world, let's say. So it's definitely a lovely to go to if you're starting with fantasy, or if you think fantasy could be interesting but you're not sure. I wouldn't start from a big fantasy, but this one could be a lovely one to start with. It's definitely, let's say, a cute read, and I've really enjoyed it. And for this book, if you want, there's a video that I've posted, and it's a video which I'm just creating the spread. I'm not talking at all, and the main reason why I haven't said a word in that video is because I've got the flu, and I was, let's say, I've lost my voice completely, and so I've just decided to do it without any voiceover. So if you're interested, go and check it out. The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. This was a lovely one, 4 stars. I've seen it almost everywhere on Instagram and TikTok, and I was really curious about it. By reading the plot, I was thinking, okay, this is really one of the books that you look at it and you're like, okay, autumn vibes, and I've really enjoyed it. While reading it, I thought a lot about Gilmore Girls, because especially the place where the story takes and the characters, it made me think about them. It made me think about the TV show, and I've loved it. I like the story, I like the characters. The reason why I couldn't give more than 4 stars is because there's, let's say, a big part that's missing in the book, and it's crystal clear written there, which is basically at a certain point there's 1 week, like you read a chapter and the next chapter you find out that a week passed, and that week for me was extremely important, because it's in that week that, according to me, the main character finds herself okay, I am part of this community. She's really starting to understand that the people around her also care about her, and not only about the boy who was born and raised up in that place. And I've definitely loved it. I would have loved to see that moment, like the moment in which she understands that she's part of that community, and she understands it because she sees it with her eyes. Like there are others that decide to help her when she's in need, and I've definitely loved that. But I would have loved to actually read about it, not only a line in the next chapter in which there's written, yeah, you know, and this week you haven't seen what she's been doing, we've been there helping her because of this and that and this and that. I think that would have been a really important part to leave in the book and not to take it away from it, but still it wasn't there. So this is the main reason why I couldn't give more than 4 stars. But elsewhere, I really loved it, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna read the other books in this series because I'm curious, and so far I'm really loving it. And then I finished the month with Legends and Lattes, which was perfect to read while I was dealing with the flu. I was sick, my brain wasn't really working that well, so I was like, let's try to read this one. It was like a little cuddle. I loved it. It's so cute, so cozy, and I was expecting it to be cozy, so I was expecting it to be a book in which it doesn't happen that much. In fact, if you're expecting to have a lot of plot twist or a lot of action in this book, then you're gonna be really disappointed by it. But if you're expecting to read something cute that doesn't take too much of your brain to understand, for example, the world building, the characters, this is the perfect one to go. I absolutely loved it. The main character is trying to get out of who she is supposed to be, because society sees her as that, but she doesn't want to be that. She wants to be something else, and I really loved seeing her dealing with that. I loved seeing her creating new friendships. I absolutely loved everything of this book. The only thing that I didn't really like, and I don't know if it's like this also in other editions or if it's only the Italian one, once you finish the book, there are all the thank you to pages, and then after that there is let's say an extra bonus chapter, I don't know how to call it, which actually tells the story of the main character before the book, like how she decided that she wanted to open a cafe. And I was quite okay, you could have put it as the first chapter actually, because for me the story was handled pretty well, and I didn't want to go back at the beginning. I don't know, it doesn't make sense probably, but my brain would have loved to see it as the first chapter and not at the end. I really loved it. It was really a wonderful read. I'm really happy that it was a lovely book. I was a little bit scared because a few told me, you know, it's not that amazing. I've seen a lot of reviews that were like, I don't get what it has that is so special. And I was a little bit like, no, come on, you can't do this to me. Plus, the Italian edition is wonderful. I'm talking about the physical copy. And I wanted it to be amazing in the inside as well. So I'm really happy about it. So these are the books that I read in November. I was wondering, have you read them too or not? Are they in your TBR? Let me know it with a comment and tell me which books you've read in November, because I'm always curious to find out. As always, thank you so much for your support, for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, remember to give it a thumb up and to subscribe for more videos like this one. Also, the Play With Me videos for 2024, I'm gonna try to work on them as soon as possible, so be ready, they're coming. Thank you so much, see you next time, bye!